Hello, internet world. Just making a quick little video here to debunk the myth that in order to do rip cuts and tile cuts on a large format tile, these are 2x4, 2 foot by 4 foot, you have to have some super expensive $2,000 tile saw or $1,500 tile saw. You don't. This is a Kreg rip cutter jig that you normally get for cutting like sheets of plywood and carpenters use. It's designed for mounting a regular circular saw, hand saw, for wood. And it turns out you can actually get one of these little, this is a Chicago Electric, that we picked up at Harbor Freight for 30-40 bucks, just for this purpose. And it basically functions just like a regular circular saw. You just put a tile blade on it, 4-inch blades, and it screws on just like the regular circular saw would. And we have cut all the tile for our bathroom project here. We've got several over here. These are the scrap pieces and stuff, but you can see we've been able to successfully do rip cuts on these. I will talk to you a little briefly in just a second here about how to avoid some of that chipping. And I'll show you some of the tiles we've already cut. One word of caution, very important when you are doing this, is you have to make sure this is on a flat surface. We ended up buying some really strong, high quality plywood here. This is not a cheap piece. We've had some of the cheap ones before, and they end up bowing. It also happens when you leave them out in the rain. That is super important, because if you put this tile down and you can feel any kind of a push on this, you see any kind of a gap where it's resting, that tile is almost guaranteed to chip when you are cutting it. Now there are some hacks. You can do a grinder cut from this direction just to take that very last inch or 2 inches, get that pre-cut and then do your cut. What we found is it's best, for me at least, to just make sure it's flat surface, straight surface, even if it costs me another 20, 30, 40 bucks for a good sheet of plywood. These are $35 each tile, so it's not worth losing them. So let me show you inside real fast here. All right, you can see in here, these are tiles that we have already installed, have not been grouted yet, but these rip cuts that we did along here that were in the middle, we did with a plunge cut, but still using the rip cutter. This entire bottom row around here, we had to do rip cuts. That bottom piece there was a rip cut. And over here, this entire center row, except for that one piece in the middle, all of those were rip cuts. So it is very doable. I'm going to show you real quick kind of what it looks like while doing it. All right, so here goes what it looks like doing the cut. I've already done the bottom of this already, so you can see basically we slide this along. You'll notice the tape we have on the end of this. This is so that we can avoid scratching this end over here, which we did on one, and we're able to use a special, like a vinegar type solution to help buff it out a little bit. It didn't like scratch, it just made marks. So, all right, here it goes. All right, and there you have it. Now, it did splinter a tiny bit right at the very end, but I know this piece is going to be on the outside right up against a profile, so that is not even going to be visible. I don't know why 100% for sure, unless it's just because it's gotten so much of the little pieces from previous cuts. So it might have been better if I cleaned those off first or something, but anyway, that's how you do it. Moves nice and slow, get it nice and clean.